Welcome to our kitchen remodel. We are in the 7th inning stretch here. Been working really hard on it for what feels like forever, but we've only got about a fourth left of the tile work, and that's what we're going to be working on today. We're using the schluter system.
Yep, schluter ditra heat.
Cool. What's so great about it? Everything.
Yeah, this system's here is pretty nice. So it allows us to run the heating cable through each one of the little honeycombs here. It creates like a membrane separation layer between the OSB subfloor and our tile. So that allows us to lay the tile directly to OSB. Otherwise, we'd have to use something like what's the concrete board? Hardy backer.
Yeah.
So we're able to get away with just that. It doesn't add like a whole another layer of height. And then also the version we went with is called the XL. So there's a little bit of a different fabric on the back that doesn't come in the regular version. And that provides a thermal break from the wood beneath it. So the heated cable will actually, the heat will just kind of hit that and then bounce right back off. Kind of hoping that it'll provide a little bit of a radiant heating to the kitchen area in addition to just heating your bare feet.
I'm so excited for the heated floors. I feel like as a person who grew up in Wisconsin, being able to walk barefoot in my kitchen in the dead of winter is going to be really, really wonderful, even though we don't need it as badly in Missouri. But I'm really excited to get this floor done because that means that we can move on to the next part of the kitchen, which is next week, which will be the countertops. But for now, let's focus on the floors.
So here we're using the 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch notch trowel official from Schluter. The reason why we use that mostly is because that was the recommended notch size for applying the membrane to the subfloor. It also kind of worked out too because our tile is so small. We needed that 1/4 inch trowel, so that really worked out well here. You can also tell that the thin set, we mixed that to be pretty runny here. We found kind of early on if we mixed it a little too thick that it was kind of difficult for the membrane to get applied to the subfloor. It kind of peeled back up a whole lot easier, so that helped with that. We also found, the thicker that you mix it, it dries a whole lot quicker, so it's a little more difficult to work with. If we mix it runny, we can mix a little bit of a larger batch, and we can get a whole lot more working time with it. One thing I also forgot to do here that I was trying to do everywhere else is kind of wet the subfloor before I put that thin set down. I would just kind of do that with a little bit of a damp sponge, and this would just kind of help mitigate kind of premature cracking of the tile as it kind of cured against the subfloor. Now once we have the membrane in place, I just take the same float that we use for applying grout and I just run that all over the membrane, kind of using my body weight to kind of help push it down and squeeze some of that thin set out. So where the tile meets the wood floor, we're going to do a pretty neat detail that we're pretty excited to show you guys, probably in a follow-up video. But if you look here, I'm kind of back buttering the tile quite a little bit, and that's really just due to the wood floor transition that we got going into our dining room is about an inch difference. So with the amount of thin set that we had to put down, and then the membrane, and then thin set on top of that, and then notching that, then for the tile, we had to back butter the pieces of tile quite a little bit just to kind of make up that difference and hope that transition is pretty smooth. Once the tile gets set, we installed the lash leveling system from QEP that allows us to both level the tile as well as maintain a 1/16 inch spacing between all the tiles.
For about 3 years now, I've been dreaming about hexagon tile in my kitchen, and we didn't really realize how complicated laying this tile would be, but Jeff and my parents rose to the challenge and began to lay this in. We've been living in our home while remodeling it, and that means we try to keep all the dusty work outside. With the much needed rainfall, we decided to call it a night, order our Chick-fil-A, which is really the meal of this remodel, and start again in the morning. Our mornings look a little different these days with sweet little Atlas in our life, but we wouldn't trade it for the world. Over the past 2 years of working on home projects together, Jeff and I have learned how to balance each other's skill sets. I tend to jump in on the tedious projects like grout. After mixing the bucket outside to keep the dust out there, we went straight to work, quickly filling in all the gaps. We let the grout cure for about 30 minutes before taking a damp sponge and cleaning it up. To add the finishing touches, we polish each tile and each joint using a damp microfiber cloth. And just like that, we have our kitchen floor. We're so excited to be documenting our projects for everybody to see. We're really hoping that you enjoyed this video and that you keep an eye out for the next installation of Beagski-Ranch.